the Fajr breeze. It's the moment of learning. It's the aura of awakening. Come on in about Allah. Oh, oh, oh. 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 Come on in about Allah. Oh, oh, oh.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. In today's episode of Fajr Breeze, we'll be talking about emotional well-being. As we all know, you can never pour from an empty cup. If you're not emotionally stable, it's going to have an huge impact in your spiritual life as well as your physical health. And that is why Islam has provided a proper guidance for us to understand how to manage our emotions so that we are going to have a fulfilling life. Talking about sadness, because when we refer to emotions, we are quick to just talk about sadness, as though that is the only emotion that exists. While Islam recognizes that when you are sad, you should turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you should seek help when appropriate. However, we need to go back to the history where the Prophet ﷺ was mourning his son, Ibrahim. And he said that eyes shed tears, the heart grieve, but the mouth will say nothing that displeases Allah. This means that whenever we experience loss or things doesn't go the way we plan, or things are just like an upturn in our life, we should always understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us and that we should never say anything that is going to displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala while we are mourning. And we can still complain to Allah about our situation. The incident of the Prophet ﷺ being pelted with stone by the people of Ta'if and him going under the tree with sadness and, anguish in his heart, then he spoke to Allah about his situation. He didn't complain because we know that it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that predestined everything, every event that happens in our life. While what the Prophet ﷺ did was filled with wisdom. He complained to Allah about what was happening to him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted him relief. This shows that whenever we are sad as Muslims, we should ensure that we turn to Allah, we talk to him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he was saying that, okay, people are quick to say, seek help. But what are you supposed to turn to for help? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer you in Surah Al-Baqarah by saying, which means that we should seek help through patience and prayer, and Allah is definitely with the patient ones. So whenever you are confronted with trials, with pain, with anguish, know verily that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you and is going to help you, and He has not forsaken you, just like He told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Surah Al-Dua. Aside from praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should also try to seek professional help, whether it is therapy, whether to see a counselor, because we really don't know the root of the problem that we are facing. And we can't, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provided those opportunities for us to explore and to seek help. So you being spiritual, you being a Muslim doesn't necessarily mean that you should curb those help that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided. So try as much as possible to seek therapies, especially when things are not working for you. And aside from sadness, the other emotions that we have is also happiness. Being happy is an emotion. And if you look at the stories of the Sahaba, there's a particular Sahaba that his story is usually referenced when it comes to forgiveness, because he was supposed to engage in a war. He was supposed to go with them in a war, but he kept postponing because he was distracted by his properties. So there are times Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to bless us, and these blessings are a source of happiness for us. So it is very, very important as Muslims that this happiness should not distract us from worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should not distract us from doing what we are supposed to do as a Muslim. So it is important that we recognize happiness as an emotion, and it shouldn't be an obstacle with us having a good relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Other steps to take to manage all your emotions is to engage in constant zikr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran that you will always find relief in zikr. That is where you find peace of mind. So try as much as possible to engage in zikr. Try as much as possible to be among community of people, have good companions that will advise you whenever you are going through these emotions. Try as much as possible to pray to Allah and talk to Allah, and seek professional help when appropriate. I pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for every one of us to manage our emotions, our sadness, the things we cry about in our homes, in hidden doors. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us peace and relief and make us in it of Jannah. As we witness the dawn of another day in Ramadan, may the light of faith guide your steps, and the breeze of mercy refresh your soul, and the blessings of this glorious month fill your heart. Till we meet again, stay steadfast in worship, kind in action, and hopeful in prayers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's the Fajr breeze, it's the moment of learning, it's the aura of awakening. Come on in about Allah, oh oh oh, 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 come on in about Allah, oh oh oh.